Hi everyone, we are here with the inimitable Andrea Romano. Thank you so much for talking with us
My
again.
pleasure.
Now, I was at your panel earlier this morning.
Oh, cool.
And I just thought that your story, the way that you eventually became the freelance voice actor premier that you are, was just utterly fascinating. Now that you're the freelance director that everyone wants to get, what makes you decide what projects you want to get, including the DC ones that you continually produce?
It has to mean something to me. It has to be a good script. It has to be a good crew that I work with, a producer that I want to work with, animation directors that I want to work with. And a lot of it has to do with how much time I have. I've gotten to the point now where I've been doing this for 30 years and I'm getting tired. And so there was one season when I was doing 11 projects simultaneously, and that I can't do anymore. And so I've started to pick and choose a little bit more and not do as much work because I don't want to do bad work. I don't want to do sloppy work. I don't want to do half-assed work, forgive me. And so I have to pick and choose them based on how much time it will take, how good a job I can do, how available the actors are that I need, and how the project appeals to me personally. So I'm being a little bit more selective now.
Now, for Throne of Atlantis, I remember for Justice League War, the initial idea was to get a core cast of characters that would come back for future movies. For this one, a number of them didn't. Now, through the course of recasting then, what were you looking for? Were you looking for someone who could do the same thing that happened in Justice League War, or were you looking for something new?
Well, unfortunately, the actors aren't always available to come back and reprise their roles, and that's a shame. So we're stuck. We have to go get somebody else. In this particular film, something really interesting happened. Shamar Moore played Cyborg for me previously. Loved it, had a great time. He was terrific in the role. I contacted him for 3 months to try to get him in to record this, and we just couldn't get him scheduled. He was just too busy. So I hired another actor, a very good actor, did a great job. Recorded him, animation went out, came back 8-9 months later. At exactly the time when the animation came back, the agent reached out to me and said, Shamar's available again.
Of course.
And so I brought Shamar back, which broke my heart to have to recast the actor who had done it. And I will find something else for that actor because he was very good. But it keeps the continuity, and I understand that. There's something about that comfort. It's like when Batman shows up, you want it to be Kevin Conroy. You know, the fans do. I know that. I get it. I understand that. I do too. Not to say that all the other Batman, and I think I've cast him 17 times, they're all good. But Kevin is the touchstone. We all think of Kevin's voice. When I prep a Batman script, I hear Kevin's voice. So I ask, can I use Kevin? And sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. And so we have to just find either new actors altogether, or I try not to do sound-alikes. I don't want to rip off an actor. You know what I mean? If Shamar Moore couldn't do it, I didn't look for a Shamar Moore sound-alike. I looked for another actor who could play the role. It was most important that I cast it kind of from scratch again. So it's always a combination of availability. If they spark to the project, they may read it and just say, you know what, I don't really like this one, or there's so little for me to do in this one, or whatever. So there's a lot of factors into who comes back.
So then when you go through recasting, is that a difficult process for you to have to start all over then?
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Absolutely heartbreaking. It's really difficult. It was hard the first time. Casting Batman, how many years ago was it? 1991, I think I cast Batman for the first time. I've cast him year after year after year after year. It was every time it's intimidating and huge and hard. I hate recasting. I love it when a film comes up that's using exactly the same cast as the last time, because half my job is done then. I've already got the cast, all I have to do is direct them. But it doesn't always work that way. I'm a freelance director. I'm given projects as an offer. I read them. If I spark to them and I want to do them, I say yes. If there's certain parameters set that I don't agree with, I say no.
I asked you this for Assault on Arkham, and I'll ask you this again. I know that you keep a list of actors that you want to work with. Were you able to bring any of them in for Throne of Atlantis?
Not for Atlantis, but the next project, not the very next one, but the one after that, there are 2 actors in it that I have pursued for 10 years.
Oh my.
10 years. They were on that list, the list that you referred to. And they are so good. And I'm so glad I waited for them. And I'm so glad I didn't give up and I kept going after them. It just worked out. Their schedules were right. The roles were right. The script was right. And they recorded. We're just starting to spot for ADR next week. And so we'll be doing the ADR in November. And I'm not sure, it'll be another year before that film comes out. But but we'll be able to talk about it soon and who those actors are. So next time I see you, ask me that question again.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you so much
My
for talking with us.
pleasure.
It's always wonderful to talk with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Nice to see you.
Oh, and I know that there is one last question that
Yes.
my cameraman and I wanted to know.
Yes?
Are you adopting because we would love to be your sons?
I chose not to have children. Instead, I have actors. Pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He needs a code name.
Well, online they're calling him Aquaman.
Hate that.
Aquaman it is.